My beloved child, your time is about to get over. Yes, your time for a specific task is about to get over. And this task was not an ordinary task, it was a task that I assigned upon your life. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. I set you apart. I ordained you for this mission. Every breath you've taken, every step you've walked, I have watched closely. You are not alone. You have never been alone. The moments you felt abandoned, those were the moments I carried you. I have never left your side, even when your eyes failed to see me. The heaviness you carried was not without reason. The tears that stained your pillow were not unnoticed. You wept in secret, and I heard you in the silence. I recorded every tear. Nothing escapes me. This task, this assignment was laced with divine purpose. It was not meant to make you famous among men, but to make you known in the courts of heaven. It was not about applause, but obedience. It was not about public victory, but private surrender. You did not always understand why I placed certain burdens on your heart. You wrestled with your calling, questioned your path, doubted your strength. But I say to you now, I never asked for your strength, only your surrender. I never demanded perfection, only your willingness. And you, my child, you chose to walk the narrow path. You chose me when it would have been easier to choose the world. I saw you when you pressed forward despite the storms. I saw your faith when the winds howled and the waves threatened to drown you. I watched you lay down your desires again and again. I heard your prayers in the night seasons, prayers birthed from pain and longing, prayers that rose like incense before me. I took those prayers and wove them into the fabric of your purpose. Not a single one was in vain. And now I speak to you with the tenderness of a father and the authority of the Almighty. The time for this specific mission is drawing to a close. This is not a death, but a transition. It is not a loss, but a passing of the torch. The seeds you planted, I will cause to grow. The prayers you prayed, I will cause to echo. The words you spoke in my name, I will not allow to fall to the ground. I will water them with my spirit. Others will pick up what you have begun, for my work is generational. You were never called to finish it all, only to obey me in your time. There were moments you thought you failed, times when the weight of your humanity clouded your vision. You looked at others and thought you had fallen short. But I do not measure as man measures. I do not weigh the outward, I search the heart. And your heart, though wounded and weary, remained tethered to me. You loved me even when you didn't understand me. You followed me even when it cost you everything. This, my child, is worship. There were days I asked you to walk in darkness, trusting only my voice. You wanted clarity, I gave you closeness. You desired answers, I gave you myself. You asked for signs, I gave you my spirit. And though you didn't always recognize it, you were never walking blindly, you were walking by faith. And faith, my beloved, pleases me more than sight. I have watched over you like a gardener watches over a fragile seedling. I protected you from things you never saw. I rerouted your steps when danger lay ahead. I allowed certain storms, not to harm you, but to root you deeper. Your roots have grown strong, not in shallow soil, but in the secret place. I have been your soil, your water, your sun. Everything you needed I provided, even when it seemed otherwise. And now I call you to rest in my timing. Trust that what I began I will finish. The assignment I placed on your life has been fulfilled in the way I desired. Even the places where you think you fell short, know this: I have already covered them. I am the God who makes up the difference. I am the Redeemer of time. I waste nothing. Not your pain, not your process, not your tears. Do not mourn what is ending. Do not hold tightly to what I am gently removing from your hands. Release it. Let go, not in despair, but in confidence. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I do not close one chapter without writing the next. What comes after this is not a void, but a new fullness. This season may be ending, but I remain. My presence will go with you. My voice will still whisper. My hand will still guide. You may not fully see the impact of your obedience, but I do. Heaven has recorded it. Angels have witnessed it. Your quiet yes has shaken realms you cannot perceive. Your persistence in prayer has thwarted plans of darkness. Your faith has served as a lighthouse for many. You think your role was small, but in my kingdom, there is no small obedience. Everything matters. Every act of love, every word of truth, every moment of integrity, it is all sacred to me. Now lift your head. Do not grieve as those without hope. I am not taking something from you, I am moving you forward. I am shifting your perspective. I am expanding your heart. This next chapter may look different, but it will be drenched in my glory. I am bringing you into a new season, one not defined by striving, but by stillness. Not marked by labor, but by intimacy. You have served well. You endured much. You have loved deeply. You have given more than you thought you had, and I have seen it all. You were faithful in the little, and now I will entrust you with more, not more responsibility, but more of me. This is your reward, not riches, not titles, not recognition. Your reward is me, and I am enough. I have always been enough. You feared being forgotten. You feared that your efforts would vanish like vapor. But I assure you, my beloved, nothing done in love is ever lost. I remember, I reward, I restore. And though your assignment may be closing, your relationship with me is eternal. That is the foundation that remains. Walk boldly now. Not because you know what comes next, but because you know me. Rest in the knowledge that I am pleased with you. Yes, I am pleased with you. Not because you were perfect, but because you were mine. You kept coming back. You kept choosing me. You let me refine you, break you, mold you, use you. And that, my child, is all I ever asked. Your journey has not been in vain. You have touched lives, some of which you will only see in eternity. You have broken chains, not with loud proclamations, but through hidden prayers. You have carried light into dark places, and my spirit rejoiced over you. You were my vessel, cracked but willing, and in your weakness my power was made perfect. So now, breathe deeply. Lay down your tools. You have worked well. You have sown faithfully. The time of harvest is mine. The results belong to me. You need not carry the weight of outcomes. Your responsibility was obedience, and you fulfilled it. Rest in that. Look, I am proud of you. Hear these words in your spirit: I am proud of you. Not for your achievements, but for your endurance. not for your status, but for your surrender. You have walked with me, and that walk has made a difference. Heaven rejoices over your yes. My beloved child, my precious one, listen carefully, for my voice speaks not from the dust of forgotten pages, but from the living flame of eternal truth. The same voice that thundered at Mount Sinai, that whispered to Elijah in the cleft of the rock, now speaks to you. The words I gave to my prophets, to my servants, to my chosen vessels throughout time, those same words live and breathe anew in your hearing now. What I have begun in you echoes what I have done across generations. You are not the first to walk the path of divine assignment, nor will you be the last. You are part of a holy lineage, a living tapestry woven with threads of faith, obedience, and fire. Do you remember Noah? A man alone in a generation that had turned its heart to wickedness. I gave him a task, absurd in the eyes of men, to build an ark for a flood they had never seen. He obeyed me with trembling hands, mocked by the world but upheld by my spirit. He did not fully understand, but he trusted. And when the rains came and judgment fell, it was not his knowledge that saved him, but his obedience. So too have you built when no one saw the need. You labored when the skies were clear, you prepared when others laughed. And I say to you now, your obedience has become your ark. You have not labored in vain. And think of Abraham, my friend. I called him out from everything familiar, away from the comfort of kindred and country. I gave him a promise, but not the full map. He walked by faith, one step at a time, with only my voice as his compass. I asked him to believe for a son when his body was as good as dead. And even when that son came, I tested him still. I asked for Isaac on the altar. And Abraham obeyed, not because he understood, but because he trusted my character. My child, have you not also laid your Isaacs on the altar? Have you not also followed me without the full picture? Every time you released what was most precious, every time you chose me above understanding, you walked the path of Abraham. And as I provided for him, I have also provided for you even in the hidden places. Look at Joseph, sold by his brothers, thrown into a pit, cast into prison for a righteousness that cost him years of his life. But all the while I was with him. My hand was never lifted. The injustice he suffered became the platform for my glory. What others meant for evil, I turned for good. His prison became a palace. His suffering became strategy. You, too, have faced betrayal. You, too, have been misunderstood, accused, confined in places that felt like darkness. But my hand has not left you. I have used every season to prepare you for what you could not yet see. Just as I brought Joseph forth to preserve a nation, I have used your pain to preserve something greater than you can yet perceive. Moses, the reluctant deliverer, do you remember how he trembled at the burning bush? How he said, I am not eloquent, and yet I chose him. I filled his mouth with my words. I sent him before Pharaoh, not with might, but with my name. He led a people who murmured, who doubted, who rebelled, and still he interceded for them. He broke the tablets in grief, yet returned to me for a new set. His strength was never in himself, but in my presence that went before him. My child, you too have said, I am not enough. And I say again, I never asked for your strength, only your yes. My presence has gone before you, and it will remain. And consider Esther, hidden in a palace, chosen in obscurity, raised in silence for a moment of divine intersection. When the time came, she risked everything to fulfill the purpose I had ordained. For such a time as this, she was told. So too, I placed you where you were, not by chance, but by design. The hidden years were not wasted, they were preparation. I surrounded you with people, placed you in situations where your yes could shift destinies. And though fear knocked, you rose. Though the cost was high, you did not shrink back. You were not merely surviving, you were fulfilling destiny in disguise. Look at David, the shepherd boy overlooked by men, yet chosen by me. He worshipped in the fields, fought lions and bears when no one was watching. He played his harp in caves, cried out in psalms from the depths of despair. And yet I called him a man after my own heart, not because he never fell, but because he always returned. You, too, have worshipped in the wilderness. You have wept in the caves, and still you lifted your voice. You did not wait for the palace to praise me. You praised me in the pasture. And I, who see in secret, have received your worship as incense. You are not forgotten. You are seen. Jeremiah, my prophet, wept over a people who would not hear. He bore my burden, cried my tears. He spoke words that were rejected, endured ridicule, rejection, isolation, and still he obeyed. My fire was shut up in his bones, and he could not hold it back. My child, when you carried a message that others refused, when you felt the weight of truth that was too heavy to bear alone, know that you walked in the steps of my prophets. The fire in your bones was not your own. I lit it, and it has not gone out. Even when you thought you were finished, the flame persisted. That was me. And think of my Son, Jesus, the Word made flesh, who came to fulfill an assignment like no other. He healed, he loved, he spoke truth. Yet he was rejected, despised, mocked, and crucified. He prayed in Gethsemane, sweating blood, asking if the cup could pass, but still he said, "Not my will, but yours." And in that surrender, the world was redeemed. My child, you too have prayed in your own Gethsemanes. You too have wrestled with the weight of your assignment. But like him, you surrendered. Like him, you bore pain so others could be free. And though the world may not have understood you, heaven did. Your obedience has mirrored his in more ways than you know. Paul, my apostle, once a persecutor, transformed by grace. He bore my name before kings and prisoners alike. Shipwrecked, beaten, stoned, imprisoned, yet always pressing forward. He called it a light affliction because his eyes were on eternity. You have also faced storms, violent, unexpected, relentless. But you clung to the ship until I spoke peace. You sang in your prison, and I shook the foundations. You counted it joy when the world saw only hardship. Your letters may not be written on scrolls, but they are written in the lives you've touched. You have run well. My child, the pattern has always been the same. I call, I prepare, I refine, I send, and then in my time I transition. What I do in one season is never the whole of what I am doing in your life. The assignment that is ending was a part of my eternal plan, not its totality. The chapter is closing, but the book is still being written. And just as I brought my people through wilderness into promise, I am bringing you out of a season of labor into a season of deeper intimacy, revelation, and rest. I am not finished with you. I am redirecting. What feels like loss is actually multiplication. What feels like silence is me inviting you to listen in a new way. The fire that once led you will now dwell within you more profoundly. You will not chase impact, but abide in me, and impact will follow. Just as I led Israel by cloud and fire, so I now lead you by my Spirit. Your job is not to recreate the past, but to remain present with me. I ask you to remember, not as nostalgia, but as stones of remembrance. Like the 12 stones Israel took from the Jordan, each moment of your obedience marks a crossing. You have crossed rivers you thought would drown you. You have walked on waters that defied logic. You have believed in promises you have yet to see. And I, the Lord your God, am faithful. I do not change. My covenant stands. You have not been perfect. But I never required perfection, only humility. And when you stumbled, you reached for me. That reaching mattered. Every return to me, every cry of Abba, moved my heart. I never counted your falls, only your returns. Grace has carried you further than you thought possible. Mercy has kissed every failure. My Spirit has been your constant companion. So now, as I draw this season to a close, I am not withdrawing from you. I am drawing you closer. I am not silencing you. I am tuning your ear. I am not diminishing your influence. I am refining its purity. What once was public may now become private, but no less powerful. The world sees transitions as ends. I see them as transformations. You are not stepping down, you are stepping in. Let go of the timeline. Let go of comparison. Let go of the fear that your best days are behind you. I am the author, and I write with eternal ink. My hand is steady. My thoughts toward you are good. My plans are to give you a future and a hope, not a vague idea, but a divinely orchestrated reality. Do not be afraid when others do not understand your shift. They are not your shepherd. I am, and my sheep know my voice. I will confirm what I speak, not with signs alone, but with peace. Let peace be your umpire. Let my word be your foundation, and let your heart remain soft in my hands. The pruning you have felt was not rejection, it was preparation. I prune only what I intend to make fruitful. And you, my child, are fruitful. Not always in ways that man can measure, but in the currency of heaven: faithfulness, obedience, love. These are the things that endure. You may ask, what now? I say, be still. Listen. Rest. And when I speak again, you will know. I will not leave you without instruction. I am not a God of confusion, but of clarity. The lamp to your feet still burns. One step at a time is all I require. The next task may look different, feel different, but it will be mine, and that is enough. Do not mourn the passing of this assignment as though it was your identity. Your identity is not in what you did, but in who you are, my child, my chosen, my beloved. Before you ever served, you were loved. And after the service ends, the love remains. I see you. I know you. I delight in you. Not because of your productivity, but because of your presence. I created you for relationship first. All else flows from that river. So come back to the garden. Walk with me in the cool of the day. Let your doing be born from being. You are not lost, you are led. You are not finished, you are redirected. You are not alone, you are with me. Always. I will show you wonders still. I will whisper new instructions. I will breathe fresh life. You have not missed it. You have been right where I needed you. So receive my joy. Receive my blessing. Receive my embrace. Heaven sings over your obedience. Angels stand in awe of a yielded heart. And I, the Lord your God, rejoice over you with singing. This is not the end. This is the unfolding. And I am the one who holds every unfolding in my hand. So walk on, my child, not with fear but with fullness, not with sorrow but with sacred expectation. I am with you. I have always been, and I always will be. Amen.